Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Dragon's Lair. My name is Brent. Today we're going to be doing something a little different. I did something similar to this a few weeks ago where I talked about CDs and stuff like that. As you know, I'm big into music and stuff, but I'm also into movies and stuff like that, and I do collect DVDs and VHS tapes and stuff like that. And I was going to talk a little bit about like physical media. I'm all about actually owning something and having it in my hand. I don't like paying for thin air, I guess you could say. Um, and trust me, I've been to the point where internet's been down for 3 weeks, and if you don't have DVDs or like I play video games, if you play everything online, you know, I've been there where I haven't had internet for 3 weeks or whatever because the neighbor dug up the internet cable, and no, I don't have Starlink, so can't afford that crap. But I am all about actually owning what you have. Um, Years ago, I'd go to Walmart every Friday, and I was broke as anything, but I'd always walk out with like a $5 movie. And I'm so cheap now, I won't even do that. I won't pay $5. Very rarely will I pay $5 for a movie. I might for like a TV series, something like that. But I do yard sale and thrift a lot for DVDs, CDs, VHS tapes, like I said, video games, all that stuff. But I'm gonna just show off just recent movies, TV series. My wife loves watching TV series. She's all about like um, crime shows, stuff like that. Her favorite show is probably Supernatural, whereas mine is probably Grimm. But I love Supernatural too, Buffy. I love stuff like that. But I like the crime, stuff like NCIS, the Who Done It movies. But after a while, you see them so much, it's like some of them shows I've seen them so much. It's like by like 5 minutes in, it's like I already know who the killer is. It's like so, but we still watch them. But we're just gonna go through all these movies that I've gotten, mostly yard sailing or thrifting. And most of these movies I probably paid $1 or less for. Some of them, this TV series I paid $3 to $5 for on average. But I have these in no particular order. But we're just gonna go through them, and they're probably out of order. Which we are gonna start off with a VHS tape I got. I don't collect a lot of VHS tapes. I do have probably about 50. Back in the day, I probably had 2,000. Donated them all. Some of them, I should have kept because I can't even find them on DVD. But I buy stuff that's like cartoon related. So this is Heathcliff, the Cat and the Pauper, which I don't remember if I've seen this one or not. I am gonna watch this and then probably give it to my one son. He does collect VHS tapes and he loves especially cartoons. So if he doesn't have it, he's probably gonna get that. And then I also got Chippendales Rescue Rangers Undercover Critters, which when I read the back of it, I didn't even recognize it. But after wife and I watched it, it's like, oh yeah, I've seen this, And I got a real catchy song in there, the Fat Cat something. Do the Fat Cat Shuffle with the Big Fat Daddy C or something like that. Fun song, fun video. But I have seen that. I'll probably give that one to my son. If I come across that whole set or the seasons of that on DVD, I would probably buy it. But I haven't found them yet. And then I also got this VHS tape. These two tapes were 25 cents each, so that's 50 cents. This one was free, and I don't remember if I've ever watched it, but this was Merlin. Nice little VHS. It sounds so familiar when I look at the back of it. I may have watched it. Who knows? Love watching, sword and sorcery stuff. I wasn't allowed to as a kid, but I enjoy watching it. So that is it for, I believe, all of my VHS pickups. But we're just going to get into whatever DVDs I got here. Some of them are TV shows. First up, we have Fast Five, which this is a Steelbook. I know a lot of people don't seem to like Steelbooks, but I love the Steelbooks, which just has the Blu-ray and the DVD in it. I got this for $1 at a yard sale. I mean, good grief, the Steelbook probably cost them $5 to $10 without the movies. So it's like, you can't go wrong on that. Next up, we have X-Men Apocalypse. This is one of the X-Men that I had never seen. I didn't even realize it was out there. There's like a couple more I haven't seen, being an X-Men fan, but that is definitely one I need to check out. This is DVD. I did watch that. I watched that as soon as I got it. Next up, we have The Office Season 3. I haven't watched a lot of The Office. I have like 3 of the seasons now. But, you know, once I get them all, I'll probably watch them with a wife. Which I'm not opposed to watching, like, you know, if I have Season 1 and Season 5 and then, you know, it's on Amazon Prime or something like that, I can watch it in between, but I will still look for it at a yard sale, so I have the complete set. Next up, we have a show I'd never heard of. This is Southland Season 1. Looks like a cop show. I had never heard of this TV series. I haven't had TV since like 2009, I think it was, or something like that. Last time I had TV, I was a big Yankee fan, and if the Yankees were on, I watched the Yankees. My kid said, "Hey, Dad, can we go do something?" And I said, "Yeah, the Yankees are on." And I watched my son put his head down and walk away, and broke my heart. And then I shut my TV off, so I just quit watching everything. I just watch movies now. So now, I mean, my kids are all adults now, but now if they want to do something, it's like, yep, sure, let's go do it. I won't ever do that again. But anyways, we also got Season 5 of Southland. So I need to find Season 2, 3, and 4. Never heard of the show, but it had 5 seasons, so it must have been somewhat good. If you like cop shows. And those were $3 a piece at Goodwill. This is another Goodwill find. This is Homeland, the complete 8th season. Claire Danes. I have seen the first 4 seasons of this. I don't know if Season 5, 6, 7, or 8 are any good. I don't have 5, 6, and 7, but I have 1 through 4. I have watched 1 through 4, which that was a very, very good series, in my opinion. Not the biggest Claire Danes fan, but it was a very, very cool show. Then we also got NCIS, the 13th season. My wife and I were big fans of this show back in the day, and we watched like the first 11 seasons or something like that. But, you know, we kind of quit watching somewhere. We would watch it the day after it aired. You could watch it online, but our internet, even with high-speed internet, it was so bad it would take like an hour and 50 minutes to watch a 40-minute show. So it got to the point where I don't want to watch it anymore. So I definitely need to catch up on that show. Then next up is another show that was $3 too. A bunch of these were $3 actually. A bunch of these were Goodwill. That was a Goodwill find. This is another Goodwill find. Another show I'd never heard of. This is Psych, the complete 2nd season. $3 find. I don't know if this is a great show or not, but we're gonna find out and eventually watch it. Hopefully I can find Season 1. Try to stick with some of these seasons I got. A bunch of them here. Now I actually got a bunch of seasons of Vikings. And I've never watched all of the Vikings series. Just knocked everything down. But I saw bits and pieces of it at work. We used to have a TV in our break room, and you know, History Channel was always on. But I just saw bits and pieces. But we have Vikings first season. These were all $1 a piece at yard sales. We got the complete 2nd season. This hasn't even been opened. I mean, you know, like I said, I used to go to Walmart and spend $5, $10 every week. It seemed like buying 1 or 2 DVDs, even when I was broke. Now I don't even do it. I just go yard sailing and somebody else pays that money and then gives it to me for $1, 50 cents, whatever. That's the way to do it, in my opinion, or Goodwill, whatever. Then we also got the 3rd season. And then we have Season 5, Volume 1, which I don't know what Season 5, Volume 1 even means. Did they do two volumes of Season 5, Volume 1, Volume 2? They did that with Breaking Bad, too, in Season 5, which I'm missing the first part of that. I've seen all of Breaking Bad except for the final season because I got Part 2, but I don't have Part 1. And then I also got Season 6, Volume 1 of Vikings. Those were all dollar scores, not a single complaint. And we'll keep going with some of these TV shows. This is one I actually picked up today. This is Evil Season 1. Never heard of it. I don't know if there's another season to it or not. It just sounded good. Sounded like a thriller type show, whatever. So I figured why not. Got that for $3 at Goodwill. And then I got 2 of these. So I got CSI, which is Crime Scene Investigation, Season 1. And I got Season, I think this is 2. Season 2. I got these at Goodwill on their 50% off sale, so it was $1.50 a season. $3 in for 2 seasons. I have Season 3, which I've had for probably a year or so. I can watch the first 3 seasons. I've never actually watched CSI, so I don't know if that's any good or not. Then we also got The Walking Dead, the complete 6th season. This is still sealed. I did watch probably, I don't know, 8 or 9 seasons of that on Netflix. But now I'm going back and buying the DVDs as they find them at yard sales. I think I have the first 6 seasons now. Something like that. That was $1 at a yard sale. Still sealed. Also, there was another Walking Dead here somewhere. I also got Fear the Walking Dead, which is still sealed. Got this at the same yard sale for $1. I've never seen Fear the Walking Dead, so I don't know if that's a good show or not. I know my man Swagda is a huge Walking Dead fan, so I like the show too. But you know, somewhere after Negan came in, sometime after that is when I quit watching it. I don't remember what season it was. And let's see what else we got here. Try to keep some of these in order. We got some more NCIS. These are still sealed. These are $1 at a yard sale. We got the 8th season. And we have the 9th season, which I have season 1 through 7, I believe. And I bought these just on a chance that I needed them, because I knew I had some seasons. And I got lucky, and all they had was 9 seasons there, and I just took 8 and 9, and that's what I needed, so that was pretty cool. Next up, these ones were actually $5 a piece. This was at a thrift store that's called NTCH, which is a children's type thrift store, donation store. So I don't mind paying a little bit more there for, you know, stuff like this. But this is Stargate Atlantis Season 4. And we got Season 5. Which I have Season 1 and 2, which the wife and I watched. We did actually like that. I've never watched the original Stargate. So, you know, I've got a couple of those seasons, but I don't know if that's really good or not. But like I said, I have watched Season 1 and 2 of Stargate Atlantis. Sorry, there's something sticky all over my DVD there. So now I just got to find Season 3, which I think Stargate Atlantis is on Amazon Prime, which I do have Amazon Prime. I don't have Netflix or like anything like that anymore, but we do buy stuff off Amazon Prime. So if that's on Prime, I will probably go watch Season 3 so that I can watch 4 and 5. And what other movies do we have here? Try to do some of these, or series rather. And then another show I had never heard of, we have Chuck, which I think there's 5 seasons of this, but I got Season 2. It's crazy, I went and found Season 2 at Goodwill. This was $3. And I was like, oh, I'll pick it up. I never heard of that. And then like a week later, I found Season 3. So, sounds like a pretty cool show. It ran for 5 seasons, so we're going to find out. And then I found another series at Goodwill, one that I had never seen before. Jason Bateman series. This is Arrested Development, Season 1. Never watched it. I don't know a thing about it. I don't know if it's any good or not. We also got Season 2, which is still sealed. And Season 3. So, very, very cool. Another show wife and I are going to eventually watch. And I don't know if these are in any order or not. But these were $3 a piece at the NTCH I was just telling you about, where I got Stargate Atlantis. But we have Suits Season 1. My wife actually does like this show. She's seen a lot of them. I think I had these in order, I thought. They must have fell over. We also got Season 2. I don't know anything about Suits. I don't know if it's good. I don't know. We got Season 3. Season 4. Season 5. And Season 6. Very cool in my opinion. That made my wife happy. And then I believe the rest of this is all just Yeah, this is all just single stuff. So next up we got, this was $1. We got Avengers Grimm. I think actually, look. All these are $1 or less at yard sales. So first up we have Avengers Grimm. Never seen this movie. It's got my man Casper Van Dien in it. So that is pretty cool. Pretty happy to get that. I don't know if it's a good movie or not. Then we also got the Hulk Hogan Ultimate Anthology. I actually got this off a friend of mine I used to go to church with. He was having a yard sale, and I actually went there. I don't know if I took care of it or not, but I had bought some DVDs off him last year. I had bought all the Highlander series off him, but the first season it was like I think 9 discs, and the 1 3-pack wasn't in the thing. It had fallen out, and I didn't realize it. And it was kind of rainy out, and I stopped there and bought some toys off him, and I was kind of hoping to find that DVD, and he says, just wait a minute. He hauled them all out, so I just grabbed some, whatever I had, and he just gave me a deal, and I think these are basically like, I think he said $1 a piece, but I think it ended up being like $7 for 10 of them overall or something like that. But we got the Hulk Hogan, the Ultimate Anthology, which I am not the biggest wrestling fan, but man, I was back in like the late 80s, early 90s, and this is 1, 2, 4 discs. Very, very cool. Eventually I'll get around to watching that. And then I also got 2 of the Macho Man. We got Macho Madness, the Randy Savage Ultimate Collection. This is still sealed, 3-disc set. Absolutely love Macho Man. He's not my favorite. I was always a big Ultimate Warrior fan. Excuse me. But I always loved Macho Man. Especially loved him as Buzzsaw and Spider-Man. I thought that was just amazing. That was just funny. But absolutely love Macho Man. He's also in the cartoon Dexter's Laboratory. If you've ever seen that show, it's a cartoon I love. He was the Wrestler, I think is what he was called. Something like that. And he actually came down from space and took on all the superheroes. You had I think it was Van Halen, who was like Thor, but he had a guitar, and Captain, I can't remember their names, Captain Liberty or something like that, but it ends up he was beating everybody, and then Monkey came along, and Monkey was the one that almost pinned him, and he spared the universe because of Monkey. So, if you've never seen Dexter's Laboratory and you get a chance to watch that episode, The Wrestler, you'll hear Macho Man Randy Savage's voice portraying The Wrestler. Very, very cool. So, then we also got this skinny, I believe it's a DVD, of The Eternals. I'm a comic book nerd, so I'll absolutely read or watch the Eternals. So, best-selling author Neil Gaiman and superstar artist John Romita Jr. team up for the extraordinary tale of Eternals in a brand new retrospective. So, that is pretty cool. Which, of course I've read like the Eternals from like Jack Kirby, so I don't know if I've ever read it in very many of the newer Eternals where like John Romita Jr. did them or anything like that, but that is pretty cool. And next up, this was 75 cents at a yard sale. This is Batman vs. Robin, DC Universe original movie, which I want to say this is like a cartoon or animated. Still sealed. 75 cents. Can't go wrong. I'm telling you guys, yard sale. You get this stuff for dirt cheap. You ain't got to go buy stuff, pay $5-10 at Walmart. Unless you really want to. I'm not going to. Next up, we have Dungeons & Dragons Wrath of the Dragon God. I don't know a whole lot about Dungeons & Dragons, as that was another thing that was the devil when I was a kid. So, I wasn't allowed to watch this stuff as a kid. Next up, we have Sorceress. An age undreamed of. An age of fantasy and magic, of swords and sorcery. I don't know, cool looking cover in my opinion. I don't know a thing about it. Never seen it. Like I said, I wouldn't have been allowed to watch this stuff as a kid, teenager, unless I snuck it in. And we've got 2 more movies left, and that'll be it for my movie haul. We have Kevin Sorbo as Call the Conqueror. I didn't realize that I already had this. I had this in a 4-pack with like both Conan movies and something else. And I hadn't even watched it, so I always liked Kevin Sorbo. I loved his like Hercules. I did watch his Hercules show in the 90s, but I was more of an adult then, closer to an adult. Not quite an adult, but I was more like 16, 17, so my mom didn't Back when I was that age, she didn't care. It didn't matter. And then the last one we got's another one I've never seen, and loved the video game as a kid. And this is Street Fighter with Jean-Claude Van Damme. I mean, who didn't love Jean-Claude Van Damme back in the 80s and 90s? I know I did. Like I said, that was whatever, 75 cents, dollar, cheap stuff. But that's it for my movie haul. You know, like I said, you know, I think, you know, I understand, like, space-wise, it's hard to, you know, store stuff sometimes. You know, sometimes you don't have room. My buddy Kevin doesn't have room for anything like this. And, you know, I do get that. But if I've got the room, I'd rather have physical copies. I don't care, you know, and I don't think my kids care too much if they got to throw stuff out. My daughter moved out, and she can't afford, you know, to have internet. She has, like, internet on her phone, but she can't afford internet or TV or anything like that. She's just squeaking by, working 2 jobs. So, you know, she just, you know, got a DVD player for dirt cheap, and she took a bunch of the DVDs that we had, and a lot of it's stuff I don't watch, or it was stuff that, you know, we'd bought for her. So, you know, I think you can't go wrong with buying physical media, especially if you get it cheap. Now, when it comes to, like, buying, like, band CDs and stuff like that, I will look for the stuff at, like, yard sales, stuff like that. But if it's a current band and they're putting out a CD, chances are I'll pay the 10, 15 bucks, whatever, just to go buy the album, because I do believe in supporting my bands, because I want them to keep putting music out. Whereas these movies and stuff like that, I don't care if Hollywood makes money. You screw them all, in my opinion. But that's the way I look at it. You know, they get paid too much for what little they do in movies, in my opinion. But, you know, not saying they're bad movies or they're bad actors or anything like that, but I think they're way overpaid for what little work they do. But that's just my opinion, you know. Like I said, it's up to you if you guys want to, you know, collect physical media, whether it's comic books, CDs, movies, video games, whatever. That's just my opinion. Excuse me, I'm getting tired of talking here. And, you know, in the end, it's just whatever's best for you. Like I said, space-wise, it might not work for you. I have no space either, but that's okay. It's not hoarding if your stuff is cool, in my opinion. So, but that's all I got for this episode. I hope you guys liked it. If you guys want to see more videos where I show off, like, movie hauls, I think I'm going to do movie hauls once in a while. Or, you know, I really want to start pushing more stuff on my CDs and my bands I follow, which I'd love to get more people into more of the bands I follow. But you guys let me know if you want to see more of that. That's all up to you guys. So if you like what you saw, just like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys.